Hello fellow crafters, this is Jane Fires, an affiliate with Fun Stampers Journey and Spellbinders. And today I want to show you some new cards with some new ideas. A lot of them will be using new Spellbinder dies. And this is the first card right here. And really you could use it for anyone's birthday, but it makes a very nice birthday card for a man. And so this is why I've put it on our chambray new blue cardstock. The die is from Spellbinders and it is called Layered Thinking of You Woodland Scene. It is $24.99 and it has 4 dies with it. And these are the dies. It has the base, which is this. It has the wooden one, which cuts like this. It has the one that says Thinking of You. So this one could go for anyone. And this one is, of course, the deer with the little bunny. And that's the one that I am using today. Now, I've used 3 of the dies. I've already die cut the wood one. I've die cut our main one that will go on the top. And I've also die cut our background. And so these are the 3 dies that I've used on this card that I will demo with you today. I'm going to give you some tips along the way, because this really is not a hard card to make. When some of my ladies in my class saw it, they said, oh no, but it's not hard, and I'll walk you through every step just like I did with them. The words Happy Birthday also came from a Spellbinders die, and this particular die is called Designer Series Vintage Elegance. And what I like about this one is that it also has the die with it, but it also has stamps with it. And it has the happy birthday, happy anniversary, congratulations, just because, heartfelt thanks, and with caring thoughts. And then this is the die, and you can die cut everything out. For example, and I've already used this for other card classes, here are some of the ones I've already die cut. This is what it looks like when it's cut out. We use this with the happy birthday words that come with this particular one. Here's one that says heartfelt thanks, and that was another one. And then we use the happy birthday words on another one. So it's rather a fancy frame, but it's one that's very versatile that you can use for a lot of different things. So this is the other die and stamp. This is the happy birthday stamp that we'll be using today. So let's begin. The first thing that you're going to do is the deer part. Now what I did, and I've already started this, I'll finish it now with you, but what I do is I tape it down. And the reason that I've taped it down is so that I can cover up my entire frame, so that my frame does not show. I want my frame, as you can tell, to be white. But because of the way I'm coloring it, I wanted to make sure I didn't get any on my frame. Now, how did I color it? Well, I colored it using Fun Stampers Journey pan pastels. And I used some of the colors from Rich Sorbet, and I used some of the colors from Mother Nature. So these were the 2 sets that I used. So let me show you now exactly what I did. I used our red, and I used the light green, and then I used the dark green, and I did that on the leaves. Then I used the lighter brown, and that's what I used to color my deer with to start with. Now today I'm going to take the dark brown, because my deer, I want his antlers to be just a little bit darker in color. And so I'm taking the darker brown, and I'm going to go over his antlers. And this really isn't hard to do. Now there are little tools that come with your pan pastels, and I've shown you those before, but today what I'm using are these little tiny, I don't know what they're called. They're made for soft, or for pan pastels also, but I found them at the craft store, and I like them for these small areas because you can really get in. All right, so now I also want to add a little bit darkness to his legs. So I'm simply going over his legs with what I already have on my little tool. And I'm going to just put a little accent on the deer himself with some of the brown, darker brown. And you can tell I'm not using a lot of the darker brown on my little deer, just a little bit, just to give him a little more color. So that's what and how I did my scene. The other thing that I did use on my scene, for my little bunny, I wanted his little ears to have pink in his little nose, and I put a little bit on his tail. And what I used was Fun Stamper's Journey Color Burst pencil set. And I used numbers 6, which is my pink, and then I used number 22. And what I did with number 22 is, once you see the die in person, you'll notice that there are little slits in the leaf. They're the veins. So what I did is I went over my little slits with my number 22 so that it would show up a little darker. And then I took number 42 and I did their eyes, both the eyes on the deer and the eye on the little bunny. And then I took number 23, which is a darker green, and I went over just the edges of my leaves, just to give them a little more color. So those are the coloring things that I use. Now I'm ready to peel this off. And one of the things I like about our electric tape is that it is a washi tape, and it will peel right off. So it's real easy to take off. And now, as you can tell, there's my background. It will be my front page on my card, and the coloring is done. So now what I need to do is my background. And this is the base piece that I showed you the die cut for in just a few minutes ago. And what I did is I cut one of our sponges into quarters, and I simply tap off, and then I go to my cardstock in a circular motion. In doing this, you can put on as much or as little of your blue as you wanted to. I just wanted to give it a little bit so that I looked more like a sky in my background. And then what I do is I lay mine over top, and I think I want it just a little more on here. But again, you can put as much or as little as you want on here. Okay, I think that's good. And the color that I used is Pool Play. So Pool Play is the blue that I used on my sponge on the background. So now I'm ready to put my background together. So I have these two plus my Woodland piece. Now what I do, and again, you can do this any way you want to, but what I do is I take my scissors, they're here somewhere. I take my scissors, and now because I want to go around this edge with some 3D foam squares, I'm going to take this, because I know this isn't very wide, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a foam square in half. And then I'm going to actually quarter it, because then I know that my little tiny pieces are going to fit. And right now, putting these on here, you may have a hard time seeing them, because of course it's white on white. But I put them on each of my corners there. So let's cut another one. And so I've quartered it, finished quartering. And put one on that side, one on this side. Now I'll take one more and quarter it, and put one at the top in the middle, and one down here in the bottom in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to take another one and cut it in half, and I'm going to put a half on the deer, so that I know my deer, that's a little too big, so that I know my deer will stand out. Okay, then on the back of my background, I put the full foam square, and these are our medium foam squares. I put one in each of the corners. My chambray blue cardstock. Peel off my backing on my big foam squares. And glue it towards the top because my words will go at the bottom. There's my background on. Next thing, I've done the same thing with my wooden piece. I've already put on there my little tiny pieces of my foam dots. Peel my backings off. And line it up right on my background piece. I'm seeing one of my foam squares showing a little bit here at the top. So that's one of the nice things about the FSJ detailed scissors. Nothing will stick to it, so I can just go ahead and cut it, and then whatever is sticky there comes right off. But that is one thing you're going to want to check when you put your foam squares on before you lay it on your background piece, is that none of the little pieces show. I start at the bottom and work my way up and then press it down. So now I have my wood on. So now what I'm going to do is take my deer piece, peel off all my backings, and now I'm ready to put him on. And so I line him up now even, and then I walk it up. So there's the card. The front of it is finished now with all my different layers on. So now I'm going to take my little strip I've cut out using our black licorice ink and Happy Birthday. And this is the set that I showed you, the die and the stamp set that I showed you at the beginning. So now I want to pop that up. So again, I'll take one of our foam squares, cut it in half, and put a half on each end. Now the other thing that this card, I just thought about this, would make a nice Father's Day card also. Instead of putting Happy Birthday, you could put Happy Father's Day out of our annual celebration stamp set from Fun Stamper's Journey. So there's my Happy Birthday. And then inside, out of Inside Out, I have the words for Happy Birthday. And I'm stamping it inside. And what it says is, wishing you a day full of joy and a year filled with smiles. I had to look a minute. So that's my inside. I have a birthday card now finished, ready to send. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email address is serif, S like in Sam, ERIF1 @AOL.com. It is my last name backwards. And then you can go to my website, which is my blog. It's www.janies-angelhugs.com. And on the right side is my banner for Spellbinders FSJ. It will take you to the website where you can order the things that we've shown you today. Have a great and blessed day.